An insidious enemy lurks in the heart of our great nation. He seeks to destroy the American liberty and freedom. He seeks to destroy our way of life. This agent of evil procreates billion-dollar bailouts, spies on his own people, and strips citizens of their personal rights. Yes, in many ways, our enemy has been waging a silent, successful war. Who is this enemy, you ask? He's the lefty, the pinko, the commie. While complacent citizens wander aimlessly, these Marxist minions infiltrate our highest levels of government. From their seats of power, they strive to overtax the citizenry and suppress personal freedom. Sound too fantastic to conceive? Consider the American symbol of capitalism, the automobile. First, buy a loan from the bank you just bailed out with your tax money. Next, pay an 8% tax on the purchase price. Next, pay a tax every year for your car to have the right to be on the road. Next, pay a tax every 8 years for a laminate card that says you can drive. Next, pay someone to assume financial responsibility if you hit another car. Although this is not a tax, you are required to do so by law. Fuel it with a product that we tax 18.4 cents a gallon. If at any time you operate the car in a manner we deem inappropriate, we may fine you, take your laminate card away, take your car away, or put you in jail. We may also take pictures of you operating your car in an unsafe manner and mail you a fine. When we catch you operating your car in an unsafe manner, we send a report to your insurance company so that he may raise your rates. We may, at our discretion, erect buildings in the roadway to collect more taxes from you. But that commie cretin is not content just overtaxing you. He also wants to strip you of your personal rights and your identity as a proud American. Perhaps the most egregious violation of American liberty is the outdoor public smoking ban. Every activity that made America the haven of liberty was made better with smoking. Watching a movie, flying in an airplane, reading Junior a bedtime story, going to the beach, enjoying the fresh outdoor air. But smoking isn't just a freedom for the common citizens to enjoy. It's the glue that holds this nation together. Everybody knows you can't pass laws without a carton of smokes. So what happened? Why did our patriotic pastime become a point of puritanical persecution? During the 50s and 60s, growing health concerns began to take hold. In 1964, the Surgeon General released his first report on the health effects of smoking, linking smoking to cancer. This leads to a series of laws to regulate smoking, namely warning labels for cigarettes and advertising rules. Once the health effects of smoking were known, smokers around the nation united to perform their patriotic duty. Over the next 25 years, they quietly acquiesced to a series of laws to promote the health and freedom of their fellow non-smokers. With the dignity only a true-blooded American smoker can muster, they allowed smoking to be banned from theaters, movies, airplanes, buses, and all public buildings for the rights of their non-smoking compatriots. In the meantime, the Iron Curtain had fallen, and the Americans falsely believed that the radical Reds were destroyed and the threat of communism had subsided. But those subversive Stalinists had secretly planted agents among us. They had quietly moved to our freedom-loving land to exert their suppressive schemes on the hard-working American people. Smoking bans had been no accident. It was no accident they originated in California, where communist activism breeds faster than a pilled-out Britney Spears. California provided the perfect camouflage for scheming Stalinists to blend in. Once the anti-smoking movement gathered support, those Marxist miscreants had a captive audience to further their pinko plans. Those conniving commies sought to squelch personal freedom and justice from the hands of smokers everywhere by initiating outdoor smoking bans. More than 350 jurisdictions around the country have successfully introduced outdoor smoking bans. This includes parks, playgrounds, open-air malls, even beaches. Beaches, the one damn place in the world that's a giant ashtray, and you can't even smoke there. If smoking bans were truly concerned with the health of the populace, the laws would have stopped at banning indoor smoking. America has plenty of liberty-laced, wholesome air for everyone, but those Leninist leeches seek to control and regulate it. Which begs the ultimate question. If we ban outdoor smoking, why not just make it illegal? Public health is the #1 force driving these regulations, is it not? Wrong. Just like any other complex problem in America, the answer is a simple one: money. Tax revenues from cigarette sales remain a steady source of income for federal and state governments. The federal government generates $8 billion a year from cigarette sales excise taxes. That's roughly the same amount that NASA spends in a year on spaceflight. When you combine excise taxes with personal income tax and corporate tax paid by tobacco companies, the figure rises to roughly $23 billion, roughly the same amount that the Department of Energy is budgeted in the year. At the average pack price of $4.43, $2.22 goes to the federal and state governments in the form of taxes. So in the same way you pay for the privilege of driving, you pay for the privilege of smoking. Except that you can drive on public roadways with little to no restrictions, while you can't smoke in national parks, beaches, universities, all of which are funded by your tax dollars. The outdoor smoking ban was an achievement of authoritarian apparatchik, overtaxing our smoking sons of liberty while simultaneously prohibiting public puffing. How do the American citizens break free from the grips of this tyranny? Now that you understand the motives of our enemy and the yoke of his repressive reigns, let's examine a situation a common smoker might encounter and how to deal with the communist anti-smoker. You go outside into the wonderful free outside air and light a cigarette. Someone coughs in an exaggerated manner after you light up. After this point, you should begin to assume the person of being a commie anti-smoker. He may just have a cold, however, so continue to watch his actions. He walks over to you and says, "Your smoke is killing me." Remind him there is plenty of air for smoker and non-smokers alike, and view his actions with great suspicion. He says, "You are creating a public health hazard with your poison." Suggest that he stands away from you if he is worried about his health. At this point, you can be assured that he is a communist. He says, "Smoking is the crutch of the capitalist machine." Assure him that now his health is in danger. He says, "American policy is evil, and your smoke is evidence of this." Apply pressure to his eye with your knuckles. Assure him that his mother is the offspring of a female dog, and that his father enjoys the company of men. Repeat as necessary. Looks like that Leninist lapdog won a lesson in American freedom and patriotism. Tobacco is the source of power to fight those that would oppose us. To deny the right to smoke is to deny the vision of our forefathers. 235 years ago, this nation stood on the brink of revolution. The issue? Taxes. The English government had taxed American tobacco growers to the point that they found themselves perpetually in debt to British merchants. The Americans fought their creditors and won their independence from the specter of imperialism. The French loan to finance the war was secured with 5 million pounds of one crop that provided a source of income to a fledgling nation of free men. The crop? You guessed it, tobacco. So while those radical Reds want to take away your right to smoke, ask yourselves what right they will take away next. I'm Rock Rogers. Keep smoking, America.